If you feel like social media should be working better by now, but instead it feels louder, more crowded, or harder to convert, this episode is for you. Welcome to Marketing Trends Now. I'm Katie Brinkley, a social media strategist who's been in the game for over 2 decades. And I'm a business owner just like you. If you want to stay ahead of the algorithm without burning out, I've got you. I know you've got a business to run, so I'm going to keep it short, smart, and worth your time.
Let's dive into today's episode.
Social media. The problem isn't that people are over social media. According to Sprout Social's 2026 Social Media Content Strategy Report, 4 out of 5 consumers say they plan to interact with brands the same amount or more on social this year. That's straight from pages 2 and 3 of the study. So attention isn't disappearing, but strategy, that's where things are breaking down. And today I want to walk you through what this report is really saying, especially the disconnect between what brands are doing and what audiences actually want. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's start with the big tension the report calls out early. Marketers are casting wide nets, but they're struggling to hook audiences. 87% of marketers say they want their brands on more social platforms in 2026. More networks, more places, more presence. Sounds more exhausting to me. But at the same time, teams are stretched thin. Algorithms are unpredictable, and no one is quite sure what platforms actually matter anymore. So, what do marketers do? They go everywhere. The problem is, audiences aren't doing the same thing. This is one of the most important findings that stood out to me in this report. So the consumers are totally fine with brands being on multiple platforms. They're not anti-brand content, but they are very selective about where they spend their time. So across generations, consumers say that they plan to spend more time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube in 2026. Yet more brands are pouring their biggest investments into TikTok and Instagram. That's pretty confusing that there's overlap there, but not alignment. And I think this is really important, especially if you're a business owner with limited time, limited budget, and zero desire to create content just to check a box. Because when your effort doesn't match your audience's behavior, your content feels invisible, even if it's good. So let's talk about engagement, because this is where things are going to get a little uncomfortable. Because in the report, consumers rated how brands are doing on social right now. And most brands are doing fine with entertainment. They are decent at following trends. They're okay with brand values. But the spot where brands are falling short, interacting with comments, responding to questions, and publishing truly original content. You guys, this blows my mind. Yes, this is one of the easiest ways to really build community and a loyal audience. In other words, audiences don't want more content. They want more connection. And that leads us straight into the AI conversation that comes up with every conversation these days because it is 2026. This is where marketers and consumers are officially not on the same page. Consumers say their number one priority for brands in 2026 is human-generated content. Marketers, especially leaders, are doubling down on AI-generated content. And look, I love efficiency. I love smart tools. We use them every day here at Next Step Social. But this report makes something very clear. The issue isn't AI. It's how AI is being used. Most teams are using AI to create content faster, but the report shows that the real opportunity is using AI for analysis, not for production. Real-time audience insights, understanding what your audience is reacting to, what they're frustrated by, what they're craving more of. And only about 40% of businesses are using AI for performance analysis right now. Thankfully, we at Next Step Social are part of that 40%. It means that most brands are guessing while they're trying to be strategic. And that is a very dangerous combination. Here's a line from the report that struck me, and it's essentially the thesis of this entire episode. It says this: the real potential of AI isn't content creation, it's content intelligence. And it's on page 10. So for any of you that want to check out this report, it's from Sprout Social. Super informative. You regular listeners of the show know how much of a data geek I am. So I loved looking at this report, page 10. And if you're a small business owner, this should actually feel like good news because you don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to post every single day, and you definitely don't need to sound like everyone else. You need to understand your audience and create content that proves you get them. So, what do you do with all this? Here's how I want you to think about your marketing this year in 2026. Check out Sprout Social's amazing report. Stop asking, what should I post today? And start asking, what does my audience actually need from me right now? Audit where your audience truly spends time, not where the hype is. Use AI to listen, not just produce. We don't need more robotic content out there. We don't need more robots talking to robots. And focus less on the volume and more on relevance, because audiences don't want to be posted at. They want to be listened to. If this episode hit a nerve with you or made you rethink how you're using social media in your business, I want you to do one thing this week. Pick one platform, the one that, actually drives conversions, leads, or trust for you, and show up there with intention. Not more content, better content. Respond to comments. Just comment on other people's posts. If you want help figuring out what that looks like for your business, head to nextstepsocial.com. Check out how we help brands turn strategy into content that actually converts. And if you're enjoying Marketing Trends Now, make sure that you are subscribed, because we are breaking down what actually matters in marketing, not just what's trending. Until then, keep your marketing smart, strategic, and always on trend.